I neglected to explain the balance shaft chain timing on my last video. So let me get in more depth because it's important. Before you take off this balance shaft chain, before you take out these guides from the top, from the side, before you take out this tensioner. So I need to re-upload this balance shaft chain video because I forgot to put this critical information in this critical information video. I'm just gonna spin it around and show you. I did mention that you want these dots to line up with these T30s. So there's a dot on this side as well, right there. So let's just spin it over until this dot lines up, and now we want that dot to line up. So we're just gonna keep on going around until both of them line up. It might take a few turns. That one's on the black link. That one's on the black link. That one's on the black link. If you wanted to, you could spin it over enough to actually get it in time, but you don't necessarily have to. Now let me show you it being lined up without them being on the black link. Okay, it's not gonna happen. That's a one rotation. So we're looking at this one to line up with the T30. That's two rotation, no dot. Three rotation, no dot. Four, not lined up. Five, still not there. Six, nope. Seven, eight, and there we go. Every 8 rotations, we have this one lining up with the T30, this one lining up with the T30, and that's all we care about. We can line this one up. This one's the same every time, just like this one's the same every time, but every 8 times, we need to make sure that this one lines up before you take it off. 2 different weights, counterweights, spinning to take out the vibration of a 4-cylinder engine. The 4-cylinder engine has a lot more vibration than a V6 or V8 because the more pistons, the more crankshaft weights, the less vibration. That's why they call a single cylinder a thumper. It's only got one piston. It's boom, 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 boom. It's a thumper. That's what that bike right there is called, single cylinder. So coming back over here, let me just show you a practical explanation. So we're putting the balance shaft chain on this gear, this big fat gear, and then this gear. This one is not timed. You're just gonna take your balance shaft chain and you're just gonna line it up, the black link with that line every single time. Now this one, it takes 8 turns to get it back in time because it's riding on a different gear. So let's just let's say that we took it apart right here, and this dot is lining up with our T30. You see this yellow line is pointing to the middle of this freeze plug. Now let's say I spun this for some reason. I didn't take a picture. I didn't pay attention to this top gear. I spun it. I was playing with it, and it came a full rotation out. Now I'm gonna line up my chain. I'm gonna put it back to this T30 screw. Oh look, my line is not up here in that freeze plug anymore, it's down here. So what happened with the weight? So let's take a look at the weight. The weight is only on this back side. So I'm just gonna keep on rotating this and show you. See our line right here? The weight's in a different spot. Rotate it 1 full turn. Right there, the weight's in a different spot. Rotate it 1 full turn. Different spot every single time. So if for some reason you didn't pay attention, you can't remember if it spun this way or back spun that way, you can't remember what happened, so you can line it back up exactly how it was, you're gonna have to take it apart. You're gonna have to take this gear out and you're gonna have to retime them. So what we have to do is zip this back out, which technically I think if you remove this, you're supposed to replace it, but I don't. So it's got this bolt and this washer, and then there's also kind of like a sleeve or something in here. I like to kind of push down on it and just pull the gear out. I like to keep that that spacer or sleeve or whatever it is inside there, because it's got a pin and it's got an O-ring, and it's just better to keep it in there. But now let's look at our marks. So now we have to, that dot right there has to line up with, no, not the outside gear. We have to line up this inside gear. So there's two super hard to see dots on that inside gear. I think I just found them. Let me see if I can't zoom in and show you. It's gonna be difficult for the camera to see. There they are. Those two dots right there. I'm trying to zoom. See them? They're on this back gear. So what we have to do is we have to line up those two really hard to see dots with that dot. See those two dots on the top there? So we have to push it on that sleeve again. If it'll zoom. All right. See, it's taking so long because I'm just trying to get the zoom. And right there. Nope. Gotta pull it back up and rotate it one more. Now, do you see how that yellow dot is in between? Really hard to see. There you go. That dot is in between those two dots. And that's how you time it. Boy, that was difficult. So, if you messed it up, you have to retime it. And now, you can't spin this anymore. You have to keep it exactly how it is. Of course, you can zip it back down. Check your service manual for all your torque specs. And the weight is on the bottom of it like this. So now you can attach your links and you know it's properly timed. Hope that helps someone. Now that I got this outline chopped out, I'm going to take my chisel and a hammer, and I'm going to, I need to mount my phone sometime. You know what? You might just be glad that you get a video at all. Okay, so I'm gonna roll to a smaller chisel. Either that, or I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, how about right here? Just like this. Come on now. Okay, there's no way that, oh, it did crack. How about a little love tap on this side? Come on now. Anyway, we can see what's going on here, and it's spinning all the way around. This is the balance shaft inside the engine, and it's a little bit dirty right now, so it's wanting to stick. Let me make sure it spins all the way around for us, and then we'll see if we can mess up timing on the balance shaft.